2025 is over. Everything you thought would protect you failed. Every comfort, every excuse, every delay. You're standing here with nothing but yourself. And that is exactly where transformation begins. Because if you think rebuilding yourself is impossible, you're wrong. The only thing holding you back is the version of you that refuses to evolve. 2026 isn't about luck, it's about strategy. If you're ready to rebuild, grab a notebook right now. Write down one thing you're letting go of today and one action you will take to shape the 2026 version of yourself. Pause the video, do it, and come back, because what you do next determines everything. Acceptance is the starting point for rebuilding yourself because it allows you to confront reality without denial or excuses. Most people try to move forward while clinging to the past, carrying mistakes, regrets, and resentment like heavy baggage. This weight slows down progress, clouds judgment, and keeps the mind trapped in cycles of if only and what could have been. Acceptance doesn't mean you are giving up or saying that past failures were okay. It doesn't mean surrendering your ambitions or excusing the moments when life went wrong. Instead, it means recognizing what has happened exactly as it is, without distortion, and making a conscious choice to respond differently from this moment forward. When you truly accept your circumstances, you stop allowing old pain and disappointment to control your decisions or dictate your self-worth. You begin to reclaim your energy and redirect it toward actions that matter rather than dwelling on what you cannot change. This shift is subtle at first, but it is powerful. Acceptance transforms mistakes into lessons, obstacles into signals, and setbacks into opportunities for growth. Each day becomes an opportunity to practice letting go, to confront habits, thoughts, or even relationships that no longer serve your vision of who you want to be. By accepting your reality, you create a clean slate in your mind and in your life. And this clean slate is where transformation truly begins. Without this foundation, all other efforts at rebuilding, discipline, focus, skill building are fragile because they are built on unresolved pain and internal resistance. Acceptance doesn't happen once. It is reinforced daily through small, deliberate choices. Each morning you remind yourself that yesterday is gone, and you are free to act today with clarity, purpose, and intention. The moment you internalize this truth, fear loses its power, regret loses its hold, and indecision fades. Acceptance is not passive. It is an active, ongoing commitment to facing reality honestly and using it as a springboard for growth. It is the first and most essential step in rebuilding yourself, and without it, no amount of strategy, motivation, or effort can create lasting change. Clarity of vision is the second crucial step in rebuilding yourself, because without a precise destination, every effort becomes scattered and ineffective. Many people attempt to improve their lives with vague goals like, I want to be better, or I want more success, but vagueness leads to confusion, inconsistency, and eventual frustration. A clear vision defines exactly who you want to be, what you want to achieve, and the kind of life you want to live in 2026. It acts like a compass, guiding every decision, habit, and action toward a specific outcome. When your vision is clear, you no longer waste energy on distractions or meaningless activities. Instead, every choice aligns with your long-term objective. This clarity also shapes your mindset. It creates a mental image of the person you are becoming, which your subconscious begins to work toward unconsciously. Without it, motivation alone is insufficient because motivation is fleeting, while vision provides the enduring direction that keeps you moving forward even when obstacles arise. To create clarity, you must define your goals in detail, the skills you need to master, the routines you must establish, the relationships you want to nurture, and the person you need to become internally. Visualization techniques can reinforce this process, allowing you to feel and experience your future self vividly in your mind, making it easier to act in alignment with that image. A well-defined vision also filters opportunities and challenges. You can instantly recognize what aligns with your path and what does not. The more specific and emotionally charged your vision is, the stronger the magnetic pull it creates, drawing you toward consistent action. In short, clarity of vision transforms vague desires into actionable objectives, providing focus, motivation, and resilience. It allows you to navigate the chaos of life deliberately rather than reactively, ensuring that every step you take contributes directly to the person you intend to become. Without this clarity, rebuilding yourself is like trying to construct a building without a blueprint. You might make progress, but it will be unstable, inefficient, and far from your intended design. Eliminating toxic inputs is one of the most critical yet often overlooked steps in rebuilding yourself because your environment directly shapes your mindset, energy, and habits. Toxic inputs come in many forms: negative people who drain your energy, environments that encourage bad habits, media that instills fear or doubt, and even internal thoughts that sabotage your confidence. When you allow these influences to remain in your life, they act like anchors, holding you back from the growth and transformation you want to achieve. Rebuilding yourself in 2026 requires a deliberate and sometimes uncomfortable purge of these destructive elements. It starts with identifying what or who is consistently making you feel small, unworthy, or distracted from your goals. It means observing patterns of behavior and asking yourself hard questions. Does this relationship lift me up or hold me down? Does this habit move me closer to who I want to be or keep me stuck? The process is rarely easy because humans are naturally attached to familiarity, even when it harms us. However, removing toxic inputs creates space for clarity, focus, and energy to flow toward constructive actions. Once you free yourself from negativity, you can redirect attention to people, habits, and experiences that reinforce growth, resilience, and purpose. It also trains your mind to recognize value in quality over quantity, encouraging discernment in every decision you make. This step is not about cutting off everyone or everything immediately. It's about taking control of what you allow to influence your mind and emotions. The more intentional you become in curating your environment, the faster and more sustainably you can rebuild yourself. By eliminating toxic inputs, you're not just protecting your energy. You're laying a foundation where discipline, learning, and personal growth can thrive without interference. In essence, this step ensures that the world around you supports the version of yourself you're working tirelessly to create, rather than constantly pulling you back into old patterns or self-doubt. It is both a defensive and proactive measure, and without it, rebuilding is significantly harder, because energy wasted on negativity is energy lost from transformation. Mastering your mindset is the fourth pillar in rebuilding yourself because your thoughts are the invisible architects of your reality. Every belief, assumption, and internal narrative you hold shapes the way you act, the decisions you make, and the results you produce. If your mind is cluttered with doubt, fear, or negativity, even the best strategies and efforts will fall short because your internal world dictates your external outcomes. Rebuilding yourself begins with the deliberate choice to take control of your mental landscape. This doesn't mean forcing constant positivity or ignoring challenges. It means cultivating awareness, discipline, and resilience so that your thoughts serve you rather than control you. It requires observing patterns of thinking, identifying self-sabotaging beliefs, and consciously replacing them with empowering alternatives that align with the person you want to become. A mastered mindset allows you to respond to setbacks strategically instead of emotionally. It helps you see failures as feedback, not as evidence of inadequacy. It strengthens your ability to stay consistent when motivation fades because it's not reliance on fleeting feelings that drives action. It's structured, purposeful thinking. Part of this mastery involves setting mental boundaries, deciding what thoughts and influences you entertain, and refusing to dwell on what you cannot control. It also includes daily practices like reflection, visualization, affirmation, and focused meditation that train your mind to operate at a higher level of clarity and purpose. As your mindset strengthens, fear, doubt, and distraction lose their power, and confidence, clarity, and persistence rise. The more control you have over your mind, the more control you have over your life. In rebuilding yourself, mindset is the engine that drives transformation, the lens through which you interpret every experience, and the force that determines whether your actions compound into progress or dissolve into inconsistency. Without mastering your mind, all other efforts, training, planning, learning, are vulnerable to disruption because uncontrolled thoughts will always sabotage growth. Taking ownership of your mindset ensures that 2026 becomes the year you act deliberately, think strategically, and create a version of yourself that is unstoppable. Incremental progress is the fifth essential principle in rebuilding yourself because transformation is rarely sudden. It's the result of consistent small actions compounded over time. Many people fail to rebuild because they expect dramatic overnight change, and when it doesn't happen, they give up. The truth is that success, growth, and personal reinvention are built one step at a time. Every small habit you adopt, every deliberate choice you make, and every minor adjustment in behavior contributes to a larger pattern of transformation. Rebuilding yourself in 2026 means committing to daily actions that move you closer to your goals, even if the results aren't immediately visible. These small steps create momentum, and momentum is what carries you through moments of doubt, fatigue, or uncertainty. It also builds confidence because seeing progress, however incremental, reinforces belief in your ability to change. The key is consistency and patience. It doesn't matter if the action seems insignificant on a single day. What matters is that it compounds over weeks, months, and ultimately years. This approach reduces overwhelm and prevents burnout because you're focusing on manageable, repeatable behaviors rather than giant, intimidating leaps. Incremental progress also allows for flexibility and learning along the way. Each step provides feedback, helping you adjust your strategy, refine your habits, and improve your approach. Rebuilding yourself is like assembling a complex structure. You don't pour all the materials at once. You place one brick at a time, ensuring stability and durability. Over time, these small, consistent actions stack into significant transformation, creating a foundation that is strong, sustainable, and resistant to setbacks. By embracing incremental progress, you stop chasing perfection and start chasing consistency, which is the true engine of change. Every day in 2026 becomes an opportunity to add another brick to the life you're constructing, and eventually, those bricks form a version of yourself that is unrecognizable from the person you were at the start. The power of rebuilding lies not in dramatic shifts, but in relentless, deliberate, and consistent steps forward. Investing in yourself is the sixth cornerstone of rebuilding because the resources you pour into your own growth always yield returns. Unlike money spent on fleeting pleasures, external validation, or distractions, investments in your skills, knowledge, health, and mindset compound over time, creating a stronger, more capable version of yourself. To rebuild in 2026, you must prioritize yourself as your most valuable asset. This begins with your mind. Reading books, learning new skills, studying successful strategies, and seeking mentors who can accelerate your progress. Knowledge equips you to navigate challenges intelligently and make decisions that align with your long-term vision. Equally important is investing in your physical health. Your body is the vehicle that carries your ambitions, and neglecting it undermines everything else. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest are not optional. They are essential tools for sustaining energy, focus, and resilience. Emotional and mental health also demand investment through practices like reflection, journaling, meditation, and surrounding yourself with people who elevate rather than drain you. Every hour, every effort, and every dollar you dedicate to self-improvement multiplies your potential, positioning you to handle bigger challenges and seize larger opportunities. Investing in yourself also shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. When you actively commit to growth, you internalize the belief that you are capable, worthy, and capable of creating change. This internal confidence translates into external results because the more competent, skilled, and resilient you become, the more control you gain over your circumstances. It's not about selfishness, it's about creating the strongest possible version of yourself so that every interaction, decision, and endeavor is amplified by your personal power. Without this investment, rebuilding is slower, harder, and often incomplete because you lack the tools, energy, and knowledge needed to transform vision into reality. By prioritizing yourself, 2026 can become the year you build a foundation so solid that setbacks no longer derail you, opportunities become visible, and the version of yourself you aspire to becomes inevitable. Accountability is the seventh essential element in rebuilding yourself, because without it, even the best plans and intentions often fail. Rebuilding in 2026 requires more than motivation. It requires responsibility for your actions, choices, and results. Many people drift through life blaming circumstances, other people, or luck when things don't go as planned, but accountability removes excuses and forces ownership. When you hold yourself accountable, you track your progress, measure results, and confront the uncomfortable truth about where you are versus where you want to be. It means setting clear goals, monitoring your actions daily, and asking tough questions. Did I do what I said I would do today? Am I moving closer to the version of myself I want to become? This practice creates clarity, discipline, and integrity in your life because you are no longer allowing external factors to dictate your outcomes. You are in control. Accountability also strengthens focus and consistency. When you know you are tracking your actions, you are more likely to follow through, even when motivation wanes or challenges arise. It provides a mirror that reflects your true progress, preventing the dangerous illusion that effort alone equals achievement. Another critical aspect is finding systems or people to support accountability, whether it's journaling, apps, or mentors who check in and challenge you. External reinforcement magnifies your internal commitment. Accountability is not about punishment, it's about clarity, growth, and empowerment. By taking responsibility for your life, you eliminate excuses, reduce self-sabotage, and create a framework that ensures every action contributes to rebuilding yourself effectively. In essence, accountability is the bridge between intention and results. Without it, even the strongest mindset, vision, or plan can dissipate into inconsistency and wasted effort. By embracing accountability in 2026, you guarantee that every choice, habit, and decision is measured, deliberate, and aligned with the version of yourself you are determined to create. It transforms rebuilding from a vague aspiration into a structured, unstoppable process. Embracing discomfort is the eighth and perhaps most powerful principle in rebuilding yourself because growth never occurs within the comfort zone. The mind and body are wired to seek ease, familiarity, and safety, but transformation requires stepping into uncertainty, challenge, and even pain. In 2026, rebuilding yourself means intentionally pursuing experiences and actions that stretch your limits, confront your fears, and demand resilience. Discomfort might appear as difficult conversations, unfamiliar tasks, strict discipline, or confronting personal weaknesses, but these are the catalysts that force you to evolve. When you resist discomfort, you remain stagnant, repeating the same patterns and producing the same results year after year. When you embrace it, every challenge becomes an opportunity to strengthen your mindset, sharpen your skills, and expand your capacity. This principle is not about